much that you will do pretty much anything for a laugh. Am I correct, Jason?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. Yeah, I would.
You know what I'm referring to, don't you?
I think I do. Yeah, I know. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I will.
Say, where are you going with this?
What exactly are you referring to?
Well, I'm politely trying to, and very delicately trying to, get you to describe a certain scene, in American Reunion, where you get your kid off, basically. But how do you deal with that? How do you cope with that? The preparation, the psychological preparation, as well as physical.
Well, physical, I've just been blessed. There was really no preparation needed. Mentally, mentally, I, at this point, I, like you said, or asked, I will do anything for the sake of a joke, assuming, of course, it's in the right context and makes sense for the characters and the storyline. And the American Pie series, we've set the bar pretty high, and we've been allowed to do that because we have characters that are grounded in reality and people root for, and all of these sort of shocking moments that we've had over the course of the series have all made sense in the story as a whole. So for me, I just want to make the best movie possible, and it wasn't that hard.
No kidding.
Hold on.
I want to say something. I want to set the record straight because it doesn't get enough credit. The scenes, the shots before of your ass,
yeah, right.
To me, are almost as funnier. I mean, the awkwardness, like those shots behind. I just said your physicality and everything. It just doesn't get enough credit because it's really funny.
I think that, thanks, man. I think that first shot when I come up into frame and you see me from behind is because that's really jarring. That's unexpected, and I think that's almost as impactful as if not more.
No, and there were a few of them in different kind of positions.
May I interject?
That's true.
With physical humour, of course, I'm going to start talking about Stifler now, because obviously there is an awful lot going on that screen that is going to make people either obviously laugh, but a little bit squeamish.
Yeah.
Stifler's, it's a few years later, but he's still up to crazy stunts and so forth. I mean, how much do you love Stifler?
I loved playing the role more this time around than even before, because I just got to interact with the other actors more, and the guy, I don't know, I feel like this time around you realize that his friends, like the four guys, they've been friends for a long time, and you realize he's kind of just misunderstood. I always think he's got like good intentions but a bad approach. But I'm just realizing this is a little bit away from what you're asking. Your butt scene is way better than mine. It's just like, man, it's just so much fun.
I can answer that. I think if you go down the history of comedy movies, probably the greatest character coming out of all that is Stifler.
Wow, that's a big call.
That is a pretty dynamic character. It's a pretty dynamic character. Think of comedy films and then think of the characters that come out of the movies. Can you remember them?
No, you remember the films, you remember the actors sometimes, but here you remember the actors and this character.
No, it's iconic.
It is, yeah.
But I also think, thank you guys, but I also think it's the way that the other characters interact with Stifler, because I think Stifler could be so unlikable and obnoxious, but I think the way that you guys played off of that character makes him likable.
Yeah, but the audience loves the obnoxiousness. They do. They love it. They can't get enough.
Sean, can I ask though, on a slightly serious note though, contemporary issues are that there's the bully and there's those that are being bullied. I mean, there is a serious element to this. There's younger people watching these movies, of course, and people that have grown up with them over the years. So, do you have any kind of message for people that are watching this and seeing, sort of the tables are turned on him in a way, because he's being pushed around, and how people can deal with that, and a little message for them perhaps?
Well, I mean, I think, definitely don't act like Stifler in real life. It's just a movie character.
There's some pretty mean people out there, though.
Yeah, well, I think in American Reunion, he's kind of a softie. He's a little bit more of a sweetheart, but I don't think he's a character that you should ever pattern your life after. But really, and I mean, we're all really good people in real life. And when I was in high school, I was voted most friendly. That was really the antithesis of that character, and it was just good to kids. That's the way to be. And
I've got one last question. With I've been told I'm running out of time, but I just have to ask you, Eugene, with your character, Jim's dad, dealing with finding love at a latter stage. I mean, our listeners are an older demographic, and I suppose it's all about these characters being relatable. So there is something for an older generation, I suppose, in this film, when they can see what he goes through and how he can find love in unexpected places, I suppose.
Yeah, well, this is it is good. I guess the great thing about this character was that he does kind of, anchor the movie in a way. I mean, it is, and that was the brilliance of the very first movie, the way the Adam Hurst kind of invented this character. Yeah, listen, it's funny in a movie like this how what Jim's dad has gone through, become a kind of a widower, and now the tables turn, where my son is now trying to give me advice, saying it's time to get out and start dating, and it's true. It's never too late, and you just have to say, okay, it's time to open the door and get out of the house.
Lovely. Well, thanks, gentlemen, for the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, it's just an absolute joy to speak to all of you. I don't know where to start, but
It's an absolute joy to speak to you.
Oh, thank you.
Start with me. Start with you?
Yeah. Okay, you're such an attention seeker.
Yeah.
Aren't you? All right, we'll start with you then, if you insist.
Please.
Okay, well, getting the clan back together, I mean, how joyous was it to get everyone back for the reunion?
I'll start with Tara.
It was amazing. It was really exciting. Putting everyone back together. There's something about this particular group of people, that when you put us all back together, it's just magic. And I think that's what works in the movie, and it's what's fun, and watching the guys together is like a whole other world. And we enjoy each other, and we really get along. And it's been a great trip all around.
What about the antics
in the
behind?
summer. We had summer in Atlanta where we shot this. We shot this movie in Atlanta, Georgia. It was summer.
Right.
Okay.
So what season was it?
Beautiful ladies.
Was it summer?
Beautiful ladies in the hot summer.
Okay.
It was wonderful.
Why was it so wonderful? Because it was summer.
Well, it was hot.
Right.
And ladies dress less when it's hot. And these are beautiful ladies.
You might come across a little superficial if you only talk about, physicality.
No,
what
they're
about
incredibly
their personalities?
smart. They're incredibly smart. They're incredibly sensitive, and they're gorgeous. And it was lovely getting the group together.
And Mena knows her, she has the best sense of direction out of it, right? It's unbelievable. You could put her anywhere, in a car right now. She's probably never been here, and she could tell you how to get to here. I get lost everywhere. She can literally, she's like a GPS, automatically. She gets in the
But
car.
I didn't have a GPS there, so
it was amazing.
hard.
I was like, how do you, I always see her, how do you know where you're going?
I was like the only one that would
It's
use the
amazing.
rental car and drive it around.
She knew everywhere.
Her and Eddie.
I became
Her
really
and
good
Eddie.
friends with
Yeah.
Donna Ramirez, who is also in this film, and she's kind of from New York, and so she'd always come and knock on my door, and she'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I was gonna go to Whole Foods. You need anything?" I'm like, I just looked at her, and I'm like, "Do you want me to drive you?"
Saw right through that one.
She got to get everywhere.
Well, I have to say, Melbourne's got a bit of an issue with taxi drivers and finding good drivers. So perhaps you could do some moonlighting while you're in Melbourne. Or,
Oh yeah, all right.
Okay.
But I would want to do that. What's that, cash cab? That's what I'd want to do.
What's a
If
cash
I were a
cab? I have no
taxi
idea what that
driver.
is.
It's like where you drive people around, but then when they get in, you haven't seen it? They have
Oh,
a camera,
you give
and
them
they-
trivia.
Yeah, trivia. Trivia
Trivia.
questions.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you've just gotten in the cash cab! It's like all the lights and everything.
We were talking about how wonderful and beautiful the girls are, but I'm going to talk about how ripped you got for this film and how did you do it? On behalf of all women, thank
not
you.
that he got for
but-
the film, he is
Yeah, he
is.
that way.
Oh,
He's
always.
a
Oh, yeah.
specimen of look at him. I mean, he has one of the best bodies, and it's been
Oh,
consistently
He's very humble about
like that
it.
forever. He's always, it's his genes. his
Slightly
genetics.
serious note, though. Really, blokes want to know how you stay so ripped.
Well, the competition is stiff, so those blokes can figure it out themselves.
Oh, come on, give us something. Really? Diet, exercise, anything like little tidbit there?
I've got nothing for you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
okay.
I've got nothing
Not as generous
for
as
you.
I'd heard. Okay. But no, I will say, I have to mention Wilfred really quickly.
Yeah.
Elijah, and I mean, how much do you love Aussie humour?
I love Aussie humor. First of all, we absolutely, FX, stole Jason Gann wholeheartedly from Australia, and we're not giving him back. This guy is funny and smart and brought a wonderful idea, and I'm thrilled to be a part of that show on FX. We're actually, they're gearing up for season 2. I'm going to join the cast when we're done pitching this movie here.
Oh, brilliant. And I do have to ask one more question about Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
The memories. Oh, no, it's not that bad.
Leave her alone.
But just working with Kevin, and I mean, obviously people know you from that role, and it was just such an incredible, I mean, to this day, what did it mean to you?
Oh,
and do you
a whole
reflect
lot.
on that?
I mean, it changed my life. I mean, I'm more than honored to be a part of a film like that. You know, it's something that I'm nothing but grateful for the opportunity. And you know, but I had worked on the first American Pie in the summer of '90. My God, yeah, '98. and then worked on American Beauty right after that. So, you know, American Pie was my first studio film that I'd done. So I working on American Beauty, I just was really, really green to the business, and you know, Kevin, everyone. I was just so happy to be working with such a great cast. They were nothing but lovely.
Was there one lesson that you got from Kevin that you learned and took with you?
I mean, he really took care of me on set and comforted me, and you know, because it was a challenging role in you know, playing Angela in a lot of respects. And
Kevin Spacey's such a generous man as an actor. I mean, he's so incredibly talented and gifted, but he's so generous with his performance, and you know how he helps other actors to be the best that they can be.
yeah.
Well, anyway, just thank you for making us laugh once again with American Pie
Thank
Reunion.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.